Before we watch this clip, you can listen to the whole of the Somewhere Over the Crossbar podcast on either Apple Podcasts or Spotify for free. Enjoy the clip.
Cunha as well, especially in that last 10 minutes. I really think he took control of the game. There was some moments of magic where he'd fall over but still maintain possession of the ball, and I thought he was really good today.
Like the ball was a magnet to his foot.
Yeah,
Brilliant. And it's weird with him as well. If you look at Cunha, I think he got 15 goals last year or 14 goals last year. And I was speaking to my friend before the match about how he's kind of starting as a number 9 for Man United. That's where he started today, and whether that's his correct position. Yes, he looked good today, but he hasn't quite hit the ground running. Do you see him as a number 9? Do you see him in that
I definitely don't think he fits the bill of that number 9, but United, I don't think Sesko is the man to take them to the next level. I think he's only been in the Prem for a few months. I think it may be a bit harsh to say that he's not good enough at all, but I think he's very raw. You kind of view him as how almost Højlund was when he came in, and still is, but Højlund's now smashing it at Napoli. So I think the best case scenario for Man United right now is to play Cunha, Mount, and Mbeumo, just because there's more fluidity within that attack. And Sesko, he may give you that heading ability and maybe as a raw finisher, but I think Man United have played better this season when they play that front three.
Yeah, and also you look at Sesko, he's 21, 22, come from the German league. Not as if he set the German league alight, it's helpful. I mean, you can compare him to someone like Mudryk, right, who came in. It's a different league. Yeah, it's actually, he'd probably prefer in a way, start on the bench, pressures off you a little bit, and you ease yourself into the squad. If he starts scoring in March, in April, that's successful in a way. Do you know what I mean? Rather than start him every game. Almost what happened with Højlund. You start him every game for a year, he doesn't perform, pressure gets to him, and then he's off. You don't want that. I find it interesting that there's no place for Xerxes.
I do rate Xerxes
because
a lot.
We're talking about their front three: Mount, Mbeumo, Cunha, Sesko, Diallo even, and you never hear a discussion about Xerxes. I don't really know why that is. Maybe I've missed something, but whenever even in the Europa League final, I think he came off the bench and he made an impact for Man United.
I think it's hard because Xerxes again does not fit the traditional things of a number 9. He's arguably not the best finisher, but his work in build-up and with his back to goal is really, I think for me, is really good.
But neither Cunha or Xerxes kind of fit that traditional role.
That's what I'm saying. But I think Cunha does bring something else that Xerxes doesn't, and that is,
what is that?
Premier League experience that we know he can produce output. And yes, United have been poor so far, and therefore that's been an extension of Cunha, and he hasn't got off to the best start. But I think Ruben Amorim right now needs to play players that he knows he trusts in the system. So I think Xerxes and Sesko, I don't think he trusts either of them right now, even though he's spent
about 100 million between them, right? I mean,
and so it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
You look at it and okay, there is a rationale why you're not playing him, but then why spend that money in the first place? I don't
you've
get
signed
that.
him. It's not as if you've inherited him. And I think I find it I think their recruitment has been, I mean, we're going to go probably a bit more in depth. We can talk about it now, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think their recruitment has been a little bit strange. I think on paper, in my opinion, Mbeumo, Cunha, Sesko, we go to January last year, Dorgu, these I think are really good players. Do I think Sesko is going to score 20 goals in this Premier League season? Absolutely not. I think he can do it in 3 years, right? I don't think this is
Then where does Xerxes fit into this?
Right. So, and the same goes for Xerxes. I think this is a player that is quality, has a high ceiling. He's still pretty young, I think 23, 24. And he did very well at Bologna the season before he got signed.
But even at Bologna, sorry to interrupt, but even at Bologna, Xerxes wasn't this. He didn't score that many goals.
No, but this is my question. I find the reason I'm kind of a little bit perplexed by their windows. They're signing good players. This is not the problem. But these aren't in a way, it's as if these aren't Amorim signings.
Yeah.
Like, Amorim is
I
not
think-
making these signings.
I think Cunha is that. I think Cunha's the one signing within those big three. I'd say or four: Sesko, Xerxes, and Mbeumo, Cunha. I think he fits the bill of that Amorim signing the most as playing in that left half. Even though he played striker today, so like you've bought players that fit your system, and you're not playing them where they should be playing. And then you've got. I know Man United won today, but I'm bringing like the negatives. You're playing Bruno Fernandes as a deep midfielder.
And you're not getting the best out of him.
You're not getting the best out of him
Definitely
at
not.
all. And so this United whole project that Amorim is building, even though this win today is very good, I don't want to put money on it. I don't think they beat Brighton next weekend. I'd bet a lot of money on them not beating Brighton, just because I think it's such a volatile system at this point, and the inability of Amorim to consider any form of change is what's going to cost him his job, I think, eventually.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about a certain manager at the end of this episode who I think has the exact same problem in which they can't be pragmatic. They can't approach, Liverpool, we're going to play a 5-back, but then against Grimsby, we're going to play a 3-back sort of thing. I'm looking at their lineup today. So you look at Mbeumo playing, I'm going to say kind of right, at Brentford, he played like an out-and-out right winger. He's not playing that. I mean, I think in FIFA, they'd call it RAM. I don't know if that's a real position in real football. But he's kind of playing... He's not playing right wing. He's not playing...
He's playing in that like
mid.
right half space.
Right half space. And then, as you say, Fernandes is out of position. And Mount is... I think Mount's playing more of a kind of like attacking midfielder role, which he's probably more used to. But Mbeumo is playing this attacking midfielder role that he's playing well, don't get me wrong. But is it... Are you going to get the best out of him? Cunha's playing as a number 9, when I think Cunha should be in that...
The left half space. That is Cunha. Cunha for Wolves was drifting from that left half space and was playing phenomenally. And like he is still playing well, but you need to... The best managers aren't like how Amorim is. No. Pep has changed... The way Pep adapted his Man City team to suit Erling Haaland won them the treble. Amorim wouldn't do that for any player. No. He wouldn't do it for Messi. He wouldn't do it for a single player.
Which is bizarre. Really.
Which is... I don't think it's bizarre. I just think it's wrong. Like, factually wrong.
But I just don't understand, though, because they've signed... and like Diallo as well is another player who's playing right wing back. I think, again, he's performing well, but could he perform better if he's playing in a different formation? You've just got players that don't fit the system. But like Sesko, Xerxes and Cunha are comparable. I think they're kind of similar sort of players in which, like, they're not number 9s, but they can play as centre forward, but they're like false 9s, basically. But then Sesko isn't at all, so it's a different option. But then when Sesko comes on, he plays in the exact same system. It just doesn't make sense. But nonetheless, they won today.